How are you? Welcome to Positively Spiritual. My name is Shannon Gilmore. Hi. It is good to see all of you here. So I'm drinking some water, so cheers. Nice to see you. Welcome. Come on in. Take a seat. Grab your drink of choice. Grab a snack if you need to. Get comfy because we're going to dive into the divine masculine and feminine. The narcissist meets you on your spiritual level. We're going to tap into it because there's something about, not all narcissists are the same. We know this. Hello, Resistor. Nice to see you. Welcome. Come on in. We know that not all narcissists are the same, and yet they are. But there is a difference between the female narcissist and the male narcissist. And there is a difference on how they treat us based on our maleness and our femaleness. So I want to talk about the divine masculine and the divine feminine and how the male and female narcissists, they manipulate and maneuver themselves within our own divine and masculine qualities. So we don't often talk about how the narcissist's abuse is gender targeted. It is. And I think for us, when we start talking about it today, something's going to click. Something will start to make sense in the madness that you personally have endured. Because the truth is, the narcissist abuse is not just about power. It's about personalized destruction. And that's what makes narcissistic abuse. It's the same, but yet it's different. I noticed with the narcissist that I met, the female narcissist targeted me differently than the male narcissist. And even then I was confused with the male narcissist because not every narcissist love bombed me the way that I was used to. So not every narcissist hoovered me, but they do. But when you're just programmed, I guess, when you're looking for something in the same way, the familiar pattern, what isn't familiar to you, you're not going to notice. So I guess with me, how my ex-husband loved bomb me was with gifts. He tried to woo me with gifts, and he didn't give me very much because I didn't ask for very much, and I didn't want very much because I grew up in a family home where the father figure, I was a foster child, so my foster dad kind of bought us gifts whenever he felt he failed us. I'll take you to the park. Didn't. So he would buy us gifts and watches. And I remember one particular watch, it was a really nice feminine watch, and it was a gold watch. And I remember looking at it, but I in my heart of hearts, I couldn't wear it because I'm just like, you're not buying my love. So I'm a person who doesn't, accept gifts all that well. And from my narcissist ex-husband, the gifts were few and far between, so I couldn't see that love bombing. So just because a narcissist doesn't do what you're used to doesn't mean that the narcissist is not a narcissist. We can't go by that. Hello, Diane. Nice to see you. Welcome. How you doing? How you doing, everyone? So I'm here to talk about why that is, why the narcissists treat us differently, and why we just can't see it all across the board, why it's not familiar all across. Like if I share my story with you, you might have some similarities with the narcissists that you know, but there's differences, and I want to talk about those differences. Hi, Jeanette. Nice to see you. Welcome. Come on in. So narcissistic abuse isn't, again, it's not just about power. It's about personalized destruction. Oh, let me turn up the volume here. There we go. Maybe you guys can hear me now. The narcissist doesn't just aim to hurt you, they aim to unmake you based on who you are. So they're here to dismantle your spiritual nature. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Because we're going to talk about something that's been silenced too long. How female narcissists emasculate men, and how that same abuse morphs into something different, yet equally devastating when their target is another woman. And on the flip side, we're going to talk about how male narcissists know exactly how to break down both men and women in ways that are culturally embedded, emotionally twisted, and spiritually disorientating. So stick around to the end of this video because you just might learn a little something, something. Spiritually speaking, a narcissist attacks the divine masculine and divine feminine in others because they lack empathy. Yeah, to take you down as a challenge. Exactly, resistor. Narcissists love the challenge. I think a female narcissist compares everybody by her female femininity that she's, weaponized. And a man compares everybody's masculinity with the masculinity that he's weaponized in himself. Yeah, it's tragic. It's excuse me, it's unnerving. But they're able to do this because the narcissist, male or female, they lack empathy, and they've cut themselves off from the divine source altogether. The divine masculinity and divine femininity is from God. It's a divine source. As the narcissist lives in their ego, they are their ego. The false self is their God, and anything divine, anything that reflects light, love, and truth, well, that threatens their illusion of control. See, empathy is the bridge between souls. It's how we attune and connect and reflect God to one another. But a narcissist has burned that bridge. They don't feel your pain. They exploit it. They don't honor your masculinity or femininity. They envy it. They hate it. They seek to destroy it. So let's talk about the divine masculine. Because when a man walks in the divine masculine, he's steady, he's protective, he's present, he lives with integrity, he leads with his heart, and the narcissist can't stand that kind of energy. It exposes them. It reminds them of everything they've rejected within themselves. So they belittle, they emasculate, they provoke, and they manipulate to unseat that divine essence and reduce that man to a shell of who he was or is. They can't stand to see a man anchored in the truth, so they try to make him doubt his strength. Now, the divine feminine, when a woman walks in the divine feminine, she is intuitive, nurturing, radiant, and deeply connected to the spirit. The narcissist sees this light and doesn't want to bask in it. They want to own it, use it, extinguish it. They sexualize it, mock it, control it, because the feminine force, when it's free, is untouchable. And that terrifies the narcissist. Oh, I've had my share of dealing with different types of female narcissists, and oh my gosh. And male narcissists too. Oh my gosh. It's like you'll have, excuse me, I really think there is something to this where a man who is tapped into too much of his feminine side, that's what we would call a covert narcissist. But a man who is tapped in too much of his masculine side, that's the oh, no, the covert is the one where it's the open. The overt narcissist is the one that's more shy. So the narcissist who is too much in their femininity, the male, it's like they're the shy ones. They're like, oh, like they're just clingy and, mousy. But the narcissists who are covert, who are too much into their masculinity, they're the malignant narcissists. They're the ones that are just bold and boisterous and take charge and rammy and gotta get it done, gotta do this now, bossy, belligerent, abusive, like physically abusive. And the female narcissist is kind of the same. If she's too much into her femininity, she's got to be the alpha female. If she's not enough in her female femininity, then she appears to be vulnerable and needy and clingy and needs to be rescued and wants to rescue and attempts to have you rescue her. So yeah, covert is shy, overt show their power. Okay, so I get those. Thank you. I get those mixed up. I get them mixed up all the time. It's hard. There's so many different types of narcissists out there. Like it makes your head spin, and it shouldn't be that hard trying to figure out who they are. It shouldn't. So hopefully on this channel we dive deeper into the heart of the matter, but on that we try to not make it so confusing. At least I try. So the narcissist, the female narcissist, well, the narcissist by and large, when they target a female, they don't want to understand a female's emotions. They don't want to understand the feminine divine. They want to make this woman feel crazy for having her own feelings, her emotions, to be tapped into who she really is. The narcissist makes her feel crazy. They don't want to uplift her beauty. They don't want to uplift her in any way, actually. They just want to compete with that femininity and that female prowess and her beauty and her grace. The narcissist, even if it's a male, he wants to control that, but he's like in competition with that. Like, really? Yeah. So the narcissist wants to distort and degrade whoever they're with. They don't want the female tapping into her divine power. They want her to feel devoted to her emptiness, because that's what makes the female needy. Because naturally a female needs a man, naturally, according to the ways of God, how God created. Eve needed Adam. So the male narcissist monopolizes on that. Now, narcissists don't just abuse people. Spiritually, they desecrate the sacred. They war against the divine design within you, because that design, your masculinity or your femininity, is in its healed form, is a direct threat to their false kingdom. They can't destroy the divine, though. Even God says, be fearful of the one who can destroy both body and soul. Don't worry about the one who can destroy the body, but be fearful of the one who can destroy both body and soul. I'm paraphrasing here. So when you reconnect with your divine nature, when you reclaim your true masculine or your feminine, hello, Cynthia, nice to see you. Good afternoon. We're not doing this outside today because it's too hot. I would get a hot flash in like 2.2 seconds. And, my face gets red enough when I get a hot flash here from this light. So we're doing good right now. I'm staying cool. So we're doing good. So how you doing today? So when you connect or reconnect with your divine nature within, you reclaim your true masculine or your feminine essence. You become inaccessible to the narcissist games. You no longer seek validation from the very person who was sent to rob you of yourself. You return to source. You return to God. And in doing so, you return to power. Yeah, go you, right? Feels good. When you start tapping into your own power and reclaiming your life back and reclaiming your voice back, it's like so empowering. You're like doing the pump in the air. Yes, yes, yes. It's so awesome. So, yay, you. Yay. I'm happy for you. Because the divine masculine protects what matters, the divine feminine creates what heals. And when both are honored within you, no narcissist can dismantle that again. So let's just begin with taking a look at the female narcissist and her male victim. You might think male victims are rare, but no, they're not. They're silenced. Society often won't allow them to speak up without branding them as weak or making jokes about it. We see this a lot in sitcoms where, in the 80s and 90s, the family sitcoms, the men were always at the brunt of every joke. And you know what? You know who's the first to notice that? The narcissist. So, the female narcissist knows that society frowns upon weak men and tries to emasculate men in their own right. She, in her power, isn't being obviously cruel, but she's covertly corrosive. She'll emasculate a man in subtle ways first. Have you guys seen the video that I did on the emasculating female? Oh, it's a good one. It was based on a deliberate interaction I had with a female narcissist, and I got to see firsthand how she tried to devalue me in front of the male, but also emasculate the male in front of me. Like, oh, it was not good. It was not good. So I was a little bit heated in that video. I was just like, whoa! Yeah, I was a little bit agitated in that video. Like, oh, I was just getting out my aggression in that video. But it's a good video. I still stand by it. Happened 2 years ago. Wow, time goes by fast. Anyways, so the female narcissist will emasculate the male in subtle ways first. A sarcastic jab here, a dismissive tone there. She'll make him feel like nothing, that what he does is never good enough. Not in his work, not in intimate relations, not as a man. She'll belittle his emotions and then accuse him of being too emotional. She'll set impossible standards and then mock him for not reaching them. She'll compare him to other men, and when he reacts, she'll say, "Why are you so insecure?" And at times she's not even like she doesn't care if she embarrasses the man. That's the point. That's what emasculation is taking away a man's manhood in front of people, especially the people that he admires or is friends with, his family, his girlfriend, his wife, his children, other family members. Like, she'll just go for the, like I said, she'll go for the jugular. So over time, the male starts to doubt himself. He loses the confidence that once defined him. He begins to walk on eggshells, wondering what version of her he's going to get today, and he just complies. He stays silent and lets her rule him. He might think he's failing her, but the truth is he's being systematically dismantled. And she'll do this all the while portraying herself as the victim. He's too sensitive. He's emotionally unavailable. He just can't handle a strong woman. She weaponizes the feminine narrative, not for equality, but for power. And when he finally reacts, when he finally gets angry or sets a boundary, oh, you watch. She'll yell, R-A-P-E! I have to be careful how I say that on this channel here. Or she'll call the cops. Oh, he's abusing me. Oh. Anything to de-escalate the man's natural anger. And any way to emasculate him in front of authority. Couldn't stand the mom on Everyone Loves Raymond. I know, right? Right. Exactly. I was thinking about that when I said that. I was thinking about Everyone Loves Raymond. So, my ex-mother-in-law does that to her husband all the time, and it's so awkward for us. She yelled at him on Father's Day and humiliated him. Yeah, it's very awkward. And you know, if you're in the midst of it and you don't know what's going on, it's like you don't want to interject in family affairs. You want to mind your own business. You just kind of want to quietly walk away, and the female's like, "Don't you walk away. You stay here for this. You're a part of this." And you're like, "No, I'm not." "Yes, you are. You get back here." It's so, oh, it's just so uncomfortable. So nasty. So, what about the female and her female victims? What does that look like? Well, just as scary. The female narcissist doesn't emasculate another woman. She defeminizes her. And the way she does that is by pretending to be her friend, her sister, her spiritual mentor. "Oh, I think of you as an aunt. Oh, I think of you as a sister. Oh, we're besties. Oh, you're like nobody I've ever met before. You're just so kind and loving and sweet. I'm so glad God brought us together as best friends." Yeah, it's really like that. You may even become her spiritual mentor. She disarms you through false intimacy. She wants to be close to you, to the female, but only to gain access to your insecurities or your private thoughts, your dreams. And once she has that access, she begins to take you down. It's a different kind of psychological warfare. She'll make subtle comparisons about appearances, success, weight, relationships. She'll give a backhanded compliment that sounds like support, but leave you questioning yourself. "Oh, you're so brave to wear that. I couldn't wear that." Or she'll say, "I wish I didn't care so much about what people thought like you." What? She'll question your decisions under the guise of concern. She'll erode your confidence in your own intuition. And if you're a mother, she'll find ways to undermine that too. Calling you overprotective or irresponsible, depending on the narrative she's trying to craft. She needs to be the alpha male. So even when if you're a female and you're her target, and you're amongst your children, other males, other females, she'll go there. If you are on the dating scene, she'll say, "Oh yeah, you're just dating to, you're dating for sex, or you're using the men you're with, and you're just dating them because you want a way out of your life. You want a sugar daddy or whatever." And you're just like, what? Where did that, like, things that she'll say that she knows about you will come out of left field and be used. Like, the narcissist, doesn't matter if they're male or female, they will use everything and the kitchen sink, and they will throw it at you and target you with it. Whatever to dismantle you and embarrass you with. Because the female narcissist, oh, she needs to be the alpha female. The most beautiful, the most intelligent, the most desired, even spiritually. She'll try to outdo your healing. She'll outdo your growth. She'll diminish it. Your work with God is, she'll lightly mention it, but her walk with God is better than yours. She can't celebrate you. That's the problem. Because your light exposes her darkness, and she'll make sure that light dims. This is not just a friendship gone bad. This is a form of psychological abuse that is surgically precise, and it often takes years to recover from. I have a few stories or two to share with you, but let's not go there. Mind my own business, and along comes the female narcissist, having to put me in my place, and I did nothing wrong. Okay, let me ask you guys something. If you guys are doing some work, say you're digging in the dirt, you're doing gardening, you're doing something that requires you to be there, like maybe you're doing some heavy lifting, maybe you're engaging in some sort of work, painting maybe, and you can't drop what you're doing to go and greet her and say hi, because she's not even coming to visit you. It's just that you're seeing her in passing, maybe down the street, like she's walking by the house or whatever. But you stop to look and what you're doing. You don't get up. You don't run across the lawn to say hi. But your hands are still full and you're still busy. And the female narcissist can see that you're busy. But you stop to wave and say hi anyways. They say hi. And you think that's the end of it. But they come back 5 minutes later to tear a strip up one side of you and down the other, because she felt dismissed by you, because you didn't get up, wipe your hands off, and go to her presence and meet her face to face and say, hi, how are you? It's so nice to see you. I know when that was said to me, it was just an excuse. I know the real reason behind her, her manipulation, but and I was left scrambling, like, oh, like what the heck is going on here? Like, I'm just like, and finally I said, you know what? I've been working. I'm too tired for this petty stuff. I don't have time for this conversation. And she kept going on. And I just like, you're not even going to let me say my piece, are you? And she goes, no, we're done. I'm like, okay, fine, we're done. So she walked away. And I didn't get mad. I walked up to the front door and I left a nice little message in her little Ring camera. Yeah, that's how I got back at her. Not to be nasty, but just to say, you know what? There's going to become a time where you are going to need my help. And I'm done. I'm not helping you anymore. I'm done. I want nothing to do with you. Have a nice life. God bless. And I walked away. Just done. Just done. You can't do it anymore. Sometimes you got to stop catering to people. And the female narcissist, oh my gosh, even my mother at my grandfather's funeral, I was 16 years old, hadn't seen these people in 10 years. They were strangers to me. They're all looking at me. This is my grandfather's funeral. My anchor in my identity has gone. And here my mother. My sister is in between myself and my mother. And my mother was asking my sister, change seats with me. And my sister's like, no. And my mother said, I want to sit next to my daughter. She's my daughter. If I want to sit next to her, I damn well better I have the right. And she's like causing a scene. And I'm just like, and I hadn't seen my mother in like 10 years, hadn't even spoken to her. And here I can't deal with my memories. I can't deal with this scary woman who, I see her through different eyes, but it's like, whoa, even this demeanor is like bringing back memories. And I'm like shoving them down because this is my grandfather's funeral. Like, this is the female narcissist. They have to make everything about them. So instead of saying goodbye to my grandfather, that's the memory that my mother has with me. Instead of saying goodbye to my grandfather and remembering the hymns, remembering the funeral service, remembering what the pastor or the funeral person said as goodbye, or really listening to what other people had to say about my grandfather so I could get to know my grandfather through other people. No, my mother had to make it all about her, and that's the main focal point of my memory of his funeral. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, female narcissist. So, and I'm not sharing this to, like, I'm done. I'm over it. It's fine. But, and I don't want you guys to feel sorry for me. I'm just sharing this so that you guys have an understanding that female narcissists are not nice people. And no narcissist is. And they'll catch you when you're defenseless. Like, it's just amazing how they operate. Like, and that's not an amazing in a good way at all. That's just like the audacity. They have no couth. They have no self-respect, as they have no respect for other people, but yet they demand respect. You're disrespecting me. You're disrespecting me. How could you? You're disrespecting me. Shut up. Like, seriously, I could go on and on about the female narcissist, but I need to stop because I don't want to gossip. But I'm just sharing with you some real-time examples that I've had so that maybe you guys can relate, maybe you guys can see it, because sometimes we don't see it. Sometimes we are best friends for years with a female narcissist and we don't see it. So why is it gossip if you're sharing about what they did? Because I just don't want to, because I can gossip. I can go, do you know what else she did? You want to know what else? Here's this. I can name so much, and I don't want to get started, because it's, for me, gossip is when my ego gets attached to it, and I can feel my ego wanting to go, yeah, let's, because this is an outlet for me to finally express and feel what happened, and I'm over it. I don't want to keep poking the bear. I'm working on myself, so I'm if I allow my ego the say and to get into this gossip, then I'm just going to add fuel to the fire, keep a bitter root, and I'm trying to get rid of that bitter root. It's been a very hard road to get to this point because with this female narcissist, I've been struggling with PTSD. Yes, she has gotten violent. And it's not fun to be around. Let's just say that. And because of my memories of my mom, who was also violent, I didn't associate the two. And it's just recently that I've been starting to really figure that out. And I've just been trying to learn to deal with it instead of hang on to it. So, yeah. Hi, Laura. Is that how you say your name? Hello, hello, hello. Nice to see you. Welcome. So, I was raised by female narcs. You too? Oh my gosh. Yeah. See, I didn't notice, like, I knew that my foster mother was toxic, but I would never have associated her as being a narcissist until, this we started figuring it out. So it's very difficult. Laura, hi, Laura. Nice to see you. Welcome. Come on in. Nice to see you. So let's just turn the table to the male narcissist, because the male narcissist can be just as nasty as the female narcissist. Oh, if he's all up in his feminine game, oh my gosh, he looks like a woman. Like his demeanor, like the anger, the aggression from the female narcissist, that's what he can appear to be as well. His tactics are just as calculated. See, when the male narcissist is targeting a woman, he knows what to mirror. He knows how to charm her, how to study her, how to become everything that she's ever wanted. He makes her feel seen, chosen, and alive, and then he flips the script slowly. He gaslights her. He withholds affection. He begins to criticize her in ways that sound like he's helping. And see, with us healthy, normal, regular people, we have to have a healthy balance in our masculine and feminine. So sometimes as a female, sometimes my masculine is called out, where I have to step into my masculinity and, get the job done and be courageous and, and that challenged for me that masculine side of me, as that's my survival side. And, I put my foot down and said no, started having healthy boundaries, and like that's the protective nature of your masculine, divine masculine. So when you start having boundaries and start saying no, and you put your foot down, no, I won't do this, no, we can't do this, no, 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 no. The female narcissist gets upset. And see, what I'm realizing now is with my ex-husband, he never had muscles, but like he was never like 18-inch pipes, or whatever, but he did have strength. Like his arms were unassuming, but he had strength in his arms and his muscles. And I would never play fight with him. I would never roughhouse with him, because he just took it too far. It would be so painful. Even his child, he couldn't play fight with her, because he'd use his full energy, like his full like on the farm. Scarlett was like just young, and she liked watching dragon shows and stuff like that, and she liked the fighting, the knights fighting with the swords. So she would pick up a stick, and her and I would like pretend to play swords, and she'd do that with her dad. And nah, he tapped her a few times with the with the stick, and it hurt her, like, and he didn't mean to, but this is just who he was. He wasn't trying to hurt her. And like even with me, I'd play fight with him, and I'd be like, I'd punch him in the arm. So he'd punch me, and I'm like, ow, that hurt. He goes, it didn't hurt. I go, yeah, it did. You're going to leave a bruise. It's like, it didn't hurt. So I just like I slug him. This is how hard you hit me. He goes, well, that didn't hurt. I go, yeah, you're a guy. So there's no empathy there. None whatsoever. So it was like we just stayed away from him. We gave him his space. Like, yeah, you go roughhouse with the dog. You just, the dog will match your aggressiveness. Go ahead, go take that aggressive nature out on go ride the lawnmower. Go do something. Because it's just, I always called them a bull in a china shop. And that's the thing. Narcissists do not know how to empathize, so they can't be gentle. There's no gentleness. They're rammy. Got to do this, got to do that, quick. It's like instead of trying to delicately make a square peg fit in a round hole, and it doesn't fit. No, they're like taking a freaking knife and a sledgehammer to it, and they're like banging it out and saying, no, damn it, it's going to fit. I'm going to make it fit. And then, it's while they did that, the whole piece of wood, if this is a square peg going into a round hole in a piece of wood, the whole architecture is now destroyed. But darn it, the square peg is in the round hole. But the architecture, it's dismantled. It's like garbage. It's like ruined. But no, it's worry about the round peg going into the square hole or whatever. Like, worry about that. That's how they are. They're just not gentle people. They're not gentle. So the the male narcissist with the feminine woman, with the woman, he will flip the script because he makes her feel chosen, he makes her feel alive, and then he flips the script slowly. He starts gaslighting her, he withholds affection, he begins to criticize her in ways that sound like he's helping, but then he's not. And then he'll call her too emotional. Especially, like, there is no feeling when a female is dealing with her monthly visitor that causes the hormonal disruption and the body aches and the body pains and the bleeding. There's no kindness, there's no taking care, there's no nurturing. It's like, you do that. And you know that famous saying, what, you must be on your period. Don't say that. That's just ignorant and rude. But masculine men, or not masculine, sorry, men who are narcissists, that's their number one thing that they say. Like it's our fault. Like it's our fault. Like, frick off. See, now this is getting personal, eh? This is getting personal. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, guys, but if you guys can relate to this, like, sometimes it needs to be personal so that we can really see the damage that they have caused. Like, oh my gosh, like, this is just insidious. So he tells the female, oh, you're too needy, and she'll believe him. I believed it. And this causes him validation. This is what he wants, and our behavior validates the narcissist's power. And you know, she'll believe and hang on to every word that the narcissist says, and that's exactly what he wants. And he creates this cycle of addiction. She starts to blame herself, and when she begins to shrink spiritually, emotionally, even physically sometimes, well, she forgets then who she was before he came along. So he's overpowered the narcissist is overpowered the female in the relationship. Wow. Wow. The female has dismantled the man in the relationship, the female narcissist. Wow. Like, wow, they must be pretty proud of themselves, right? Oh yeah, they are. We can say that sarcastically, like, oh wow, you must be pretty proud of yourself to dismantle a woman or a man like that. Like, wow. And they're like, thank you. Yeah, I am kind of proud. Wow. So let's talk about how the man, the male narcissist, treats other men. See, the male narcissist doesn't charm them. He competes with them. He has to be the smartest, the strongest, the most respected. He uses manipulation to dominate them in work settings, friendly groups, or even in church communities. He'll mock any sign of emotion as weakness. He plays psychological warfare through status, performance, and hierarchy. He'll sabotage and smile while doing it. He pretends to be every man's guy, you know, the go-to, the jet setter, the one that everybody admires, and the easygoing guy that everybody can talk to and pal around with. But if a man is too sensitive or healed or in touch with his heart, the man becomes a threat. Not because he's weak, but because he's stronger than the male narcissist could ever be. And oh my gosh, you're gonna watch how the male narcissist is exposed. The male narcissist projects strength but hides behind insecurity. And that's when oftentimes when some male narcissists, they, you know, hang around you because they need the supply from you that, you know, you as a male like to hang around with them, you like their company. You know, there's a natural, between men, there is a natural sense of camaraderie, but also a friendly competition. You know, friendly competition is not bad because it helps us to, you know, do better. It encourages us. But when the male narcissist sees that they can't get anything from you anymore, they'll leave you. They'll stop answering your phone calls. They'll stop dropping over. It's like you never knew them, but they'll come back 2 to 3 months later, maybe even 2 to 3 years later, and pick up like where you guys left off, like nothing has happened. Like they just ignore your feelings altogether. So the male narcissist projects strength but hides deep insecurity. The female narcissist projects vulnerability but hides deep malice. That's the difference between the two. They are different reflections of the same root, the false self, a self that cannot feel, love, or connect, only control. Wow, I see we got a lot of people in the chat or in the watching today. Hi everyone, welcome. Nice to see you. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up because you are helping the YouTube algorithms get this video and this video channel out in front of people who need to see it. People who are healing, people who are hurting from narcissists. Narcissism isn't going away. Let's be frank about it. It's not going away. Narcissism is here to stay, and we have to figure out how to get along with them, how to deal with them, and how we do that is to first heal ourselves, to get ourselves strong so that we're not afraid when the narcissist comes in our lives again. Sorry, itchy back. You know, we've got to deal with these. We've got to deal with the narcissists in many sectors, you know, the policing, the academic, the health sector, you know, like doctors are narcissists, even in church groups, the pastors, the elders, you know, even in business, you know, narcissists are everywhere. They're not going away. So if you guys want to learn how to heal, you're welcome to stay. You're welcome to take the information from these videos and make it your own. Do what you want. If you find error, you want to talk, you feel like you want counsel, you feel like you just, you know, you just got a question, burning question, or you have a topic that you want to see on this channel, email me at shannongilmore@protonmail.com. So what does all this mean? Well, if you're listening to this, you may recognize yourself in one of these dynamics. Oh, yes. You may have questions, as you may have questioned your own strength. You may have tried to be kind to the narcissist. You have tried to forgive. You've tried to accept them as who they are. And in doing so, you've just lost. You can't win with these people. You just can't. And when you lose with the narcissist, you end up losing yourself. But this is what I want you to know. You're not weak. You're not emotional. You're not broken. Okay? You're not broken. You were targeted because of your light. You were targeted and you were manipulated. And now that you see the truth behind their lies, now you can do something about it. You don't have to stay wounded. Yeah, it's going to hurt. It hurts when the narcissist hurts you. That's the point. But it equally hurts you when you stay silent, even when they're not around and you do nothing to help yourself. And you continually to blame the narcissist. That is hurting you more. That's allowing the narcissist to win. That's allowing evil to win. Yes, I know this is unfair. But the moment that you name the abuse, the moment you say, I see I was gaslit. Yeah, I see I was lied to. Yeah, I see I was used. I was manipulated in that situation. Yes, I was targeted. The moment that you can see that, the moment that you claim that and name it, you see through their mask, and that cannot be undone, because you begin to crack yourself open and break free, because that's where healing starts, is with clarity. Get clear on knowing who they are. You learn to know who you are not by first knowing who they are. And when you can see their demeanor, their behavior, you're like, gee, I'm not like that. I never was like that, never could be like that. Okay, so you know I'm not the narcissist. I'm not like that. So that is where you can reshape your identity from knowing who you are not. Because coming out of a narcissistic relationship, we have an existential crisis, right? We go through this identity crisis, like, who the hell am I? Did I even ever know who I was? Do I know who I am? Who do I want to be? Like, it's so hard to see into the future. It's so hard to see who you are now. But once you recognize who the narcissist is, you then have a platform, because you recognize who you are not. And when you recognize who you are not, you then can recognize who you are. Make sense? So take back your voice, because your healing starts today with clarity. It begins with you telling the truth about what you lived through. Write it down. Speak to yourself when you go for a walk. God is in you, so speak it to God. Tell God, God, the narcissist or this person did this to me, they did this to me, and I'm feeling like, how do I do better for next time? Because I can't get away from not seeing them. You know, we're in the same work environment or whatever, so I can't avoid them. So what can I do? And God will lead you to the websites. God will lead you to the information. God will lead you to the people. God will lead you to the truth. He will lead you to his word. He will share with you. He is with you. He is helping you. And, you know, you can even talk to yourself in the mirror, or grab your phone and record. And look at yourself in the camera, and just see yourself and just talk. See yourself from one friend to another, sharing, this is what I went through. You know what? Let's think about thinking. Let's think about this a little bit. What can I do better? How could I have said this better for me? Not for them, but for me. How could I have stood up to myself better? And there might be a next time, so let me just practice. Let me practice getting confident in being who I want to be, not who the narcissist is trying to change me into, to suit them, to make themselves feel better. See, the narcissist tries to dismantle you to make themselves feel better, because they are threatened by you. That's all this is. They are the threatened ones, and they want you to feel threatened by them, so you'll shrink back and not express yourself. So take back your voice. Take back your identity. Reclaim your masculinity. Reclaim your femininity. Reclaim your humanity. You are never the problem, but you are the solution. So, spiritually speaking, a narcissist attacks the divine masculine and the divine feminine in others because they lack empathy, right? But more than that, it's because they've cut themselves off from the divine source altogether. And that divine source has left them. And now they're just left with an imprinting, a natural imprinting that says, oh, this feels right, this feels right, this feels wrong, this doesn't feel good, this doesn't feel good. And so they're judging their masculine and feminine qualities, and it's like their masculine and feminine inside the narcissist is combating each other. And they're at the mercy of that. They're in competition with that. They're trying to get a hold of that. They're trying to get ahead of that. They're trying to get in control of themselves. And by controlling themselves, they think that they have to control their environment and control other people. Well, when you try to control other people, that's when your life becomes out of control. It's a fact. You try to control people, that's when your life becomes more out of control. You can only control yourselves But the narcissist uses other people to control themselves, and it doesn't work. So they live in their ego. They are their ego, a solidified ego or crystallized ego, if you will. The false self is their God, and anything divine, anything that reflects light, love, and truth and hope threatens their illusion of control. They will weaponize everything to do with you. Exactly. So, empathy is the bridge between souls. It is how men and women get along. We use our empathy to have our divine masculine and divine feminine within us to get along. When you are married, you don't hold a grudge. When you're married with somebody, you don't judge them. You just love them through it. That's what God is calling us to do. With our empathy, we use our empathy to love ourselves, our divine masculine, our divine feminine. We love, we don't judge ourselves. And then you can reflect that to other people as you love the divine and the masculine within other people. And you just love them through it. You don't judge. But a narcissist, well, they've burned that bridge. They don't feel your pain. They exploit it. They don't honor your masculinity or feminine. They envy it. They hate it. They seek to destroy it. So here's the divine masculine, if you guys are just unsure of what we're talking about here. When a man walks in the divine masculine, he is steady, protective, present. He lives with integrity. He leads with his heart. The narcissist can't stand that kind of energy. It exposes them. It reminds them of everything that they've rejected within themselves. So they belittle, they emasculate, they provoke, and manipulate to unseat that divine essence and reduce him to a shell of who he was. They can't stand to see a man anchored in truth, so they try to make him doubt his strength. Now, men and women have the divine masculine in each one of us. And so the masculine quality is that take charge kind of attitude. He's protective, present. He lives with integrity. Right is right, wrong is wrong, right? The feminine quality is the mediator. Well, let's just be a little bit more open-minded. So when a narcissist sees our masculinity, whether it's female or male, a narcissist who is in their over and abundant in their masculinity, they're going to target our masculine. And once they knock that down, to disarm, because our masculine nature is the protective nature where our healthy boundaries are. Once those boundaries are gone, then the narcissist goes for the female, the femininity in us. Because going back to, this is just coming to me, going back to the curse in Genesis chapter 3, verse 15, and I will put enmity between your seed and hers. Well, Eve was created from God, a spirit, and Adam, who was male, and she became her own individuated being, female. So God didn't breathe the breath of life into Eve when he created her. The breath of life was given to Eve through the rib bone, which is a part of Adam's body. So Eve was given the spiritual nature of masculinity. And from her creation, she became a feminine being. So understanding that the narcissist, whether they are male or female, they will attach themselves, they will go for your dominant divine nature first, and then undercut your, the nature that is not, you're not strong in. They will undercut that, trying to dismantle you as an entire divine spiritual being. But they can't. But because of this curse, God says, I will put enmity between your seed and hers. That lets us know that the enemy's seed is at the heart of narcissism. And it naturally wants to fight the feminine nature. Whether you're a man or a woman, the feminine nature, the divine feminine, will be taken out. That's why this is interesting. This is why it's so confusing, because the narcissist sees some qualities in us that we think that they admire, but no, they're just slowly dismantling the qualities that are dominant in us, so we shrink back our boundaries, and then they start going for our femininity. That makes sense. That makes sense. So with the divine feminine, when a woman walks in the divine feminine, she's intuitive, nurturing, radiant, and deeply connected to the spirit. The narcissist sees this light and doesn't want to bask in it. They want to own it, because this is how they can own God. If the narcissist can tap into your divine feminine in you and own that, then they can own a piece of God. Because notice, Adam was created on earth. It was Eve that was created in heaven. Just something to think about. So the narcissist sees the light and doesn't want to bask in it. They want to own it, use it, extinguish it. They sexualize it, mock it, control it, because the feminine force, when it's free, is untouchable, and that terrifies them. They don't want to understand the feminine's emotions. They don't want to understand a woman in her emotions. They don't want to understand a man and his feminine emotions. Like, no. They want us to feel crazy. The narcissist wants to make us feel crazy for being who we are. They don't want to uplift our beauty or our handsomeness. They don't want to enhance or champion our success. No, they want to destroy everything about us. They want to distort. They want to degrade. They don't want us in our divine power. They want us to be devoted to our emptiness, just like they are. And this is why healing takes so long, because we have double duty. We have to tap into our masculinity, heal that, get acquainted with that, and then tap into our femininity and heal that and acquaint with that, and then start slowly trusting people who we can form relationships with, whether friendships or romantic relationships or partnerships in a work setting. We have to slowly trust, so that those people's femininity and masculinity can challenge ours, so that we can grow, or enhance ours, or we enhance theirs, or challenge them so that they can grow. Narcissists don't just abuse people spiritually. They desecrate the sacred. You are sacred. They war against the divine design within you, because that design, your masculinity or your femininity, in its healed form, is a direct threat to their false kingdom. But they can't destroy the divine within you. They can try to suppress and oppress it, shame it, yes, silence it, yes, but it always resurrects. So when you reconnect with your divine nature, when you reclaim your true masculine or your feminine essence, you become inaccessible to their games. You no longer seek validation from the very person who was sent to rob you of yourself. You just want nothing more to do with them. You return to the source. You return to God. And in doing so, you return to your power as you are empowered by God, and you let God lead. The divine masculine protects what matters. The divine feminine creates what heals. And when both are honored within you, You get to create, you get to co-create the world that you've always imagined, or a beautiful world you never were able to imagine. And this is something that the narcissist does not have. They don't have this creative essence within them. And once you see yourself as who you truly are, no narcissist can ever dismantle you again. Ever. So I hope this video has helped you to see who you are, to see who the narcissist is and who they aren't, as you now are seeing who you are not. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. That's not just something to say just to make you feel better. That's the truth. That's from God's word to your heart. Feel it. Don't just let your ego grab a hold of it. Your ego is in your mind. You're analytical. Just lay down all analytics, okay? And just open your heart. Just put your hand on your heart. Because where your attention goes, your energy flows. So put your hand on your heart. Close your eyes and breathe to stay in this moment of now or to connect with it. And imagine, with your hand on your heart, you can talk. When you talk and say these words, feel it echo through your chest cavity. I. Say that. Go deep. Say with a deep voice, because your neurons love deep voices. Your neurons entrain to deep sounds. So I. Go like that. You know, the I am fearfully and wonderfully made. You can feel that. You can feel that. Let that resonate through your chest cavity, because that's getting to your heart. And you're speaking from your heart. And you're reacquainting yourself with yourself. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. God loves me. God made me. I am never forsaken, nor am I ever abandoned. God is always with me. I walk through the valley of shadow of death, but thou art with me always. And Jesus says that he knows he's the Alpha and the Omega. So God knows our beginning and our end. God delights in me. God delights in me. Feel that. Ooh, that's amazing. So if you let your voice go deep, just how low can you go? You know, just try to do that. Just you know, like just experiment with your voice. Experiment with the cadence. Experiment with the pitch. Get fun with this. And allow your heart to speak. Feel from your heart. Speak from your heart. Use your intention from your heart instead of intention from your mind, because when you speak from your mind, you know, there's a thing where back when I was growing up, there was a saying that people speak from their mind, meaning that they just blurt things out. Like, stop speaking from your mind, because you just blurt things out, blah, blah, and you end up saying something that you don't mean, and you end up hurting people because of the things that you say. Open up your heart to speak from your heart. Speak from your heart, and speak to your heart from your heart. And come back here and let me know how that goes. So thank you for watching, everyone. We are here 1 o'clock and 10 o'clock in the evening. 10 o'clock, I'm going to try and have a surprise for you guys tonight, because here in Canada, it is July 1st, Canada Day. And we might, well, we always do have some fireworks going on across the road. So I'm going to take you live. You probably won't be able to see me. Well, maybe it may not be too dark, but it might be dark. But you know, we'll go across the road, and you guys are going to enjoy the fireworks with me tonight. So yay! I'm so excited for that. So I look forward to seeing you guys here for fireworks celebration tonight at 10 o'clock in the evening. And enjoy the rest of your day. God bless. So we are here 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 10 o'clock in the evenings, Eastern Standard Time. If you guys want to talk, you can either have some peer support mentoring, sign up for an appointment in the link in the description, or you can contact me by email if you just have something on your mind, you want to discuss what we talk about on the program here, and you're not sure, you've got some questions, or you have a topic that you want seen addressed here, you can email me at shannongilmore@protonmail.com. And this channel survives by your donations. Thank you, everyone who has donated. We appreciate your donations. Your donations help to keep us here, so keep the donations coming, please. You can donate through PayPal. A link is in the description of this video, and any amount helps. So please, thank you so very much. I want you to, I want to make this clear. Any donation helps, whether you know, whatever it is, that's fine. That's not an issue. So please don't feel like you're pressured. You do what you want, do what you can. If all you can do is pray for us, that's support enough. Thank you so very much. Your support matters as you're supporting yourself. So thanks for the likes, the subscription, the coming back here and sharing your time with us. And thank you for making Positively Spiritual a part of your healing day. I love you and I appreciate you, and welcome to the family. Hugs, everyone. See you later.